Hi, I'm Misty Clark and I work for the Little Rock School District. I'm a K-2 academic self-contained school teacher, and this is a video tutorial of my classroom. It'll just be a real quick scan of my room. First, this is the door, and right here next to the door, the student mailboxes. It's just a pocket chart I purchased, and I cut it in half. I have 10 students, and it works great. I have actually my students just help me sort and put their graded work in there, and the students every day go check their mailbox before they go home and put it in their binder. Up above, these are just inexpensive frames I bought at the Dollar Tree, and I just write on it with the dry erase marker about how they're getting home and that information. And I just velcroed a dry erase marker next to it, so if it changes, I can easily get to it and put their information up, so it's quick and easy. Next to the door, probably the best thing we have is the dry erase reminder board, because you know, things happen all throughout the day. We get someone calls on the intercom about, you know, student A is going to go home with their aunt or whatever, and so if we don't write it down, we forget. Or with me being in here with two paraprofessionals, it's a great way for all of us to communicate. So that's been real easy, and once again, I velcro a marker up there so we can have it, because if you're having to hunt around with a marker, you'll forget, or you know, get sidetracked by one of the students, and they're always out of reach of the students, so that's helpful. There's a visual about waiting in line, and also right down here on the floor, I don't know if you can see, but that's just a line of duct tape that the students line up on. That's just an easy, quick visual. To the left is just my listening center. I just have a comfy chair, and I love owls, and so my theme for my room is owls. I have a visual on exactly how to operate the center. I have, of course, the book and the CD player. They also, I'll go into a different video tutorial where I explain how the center works, but this is just a real quick video tutorial. I created a little awning just to make it a little cozier, and underneath you can kind of see is our phone. So that's what that is. I'm sorry, that's my phone going off in the background. Speaking of phone. Okay, we'll just quickly go this way. That is my calendar area where we do our morning calendar and just have our basic information there, our helpers. We do some morning math, that kind of thing. That is my comfy chair that I just refurbished from a yard sale. Our books, those are our objectives. We have to write them not only with Common Core standards, where I have this posted, I'll show you in a different area, but also in kid-friendly language. So that is my version of kid-friendly language down at the bottom. We have a smartboard in our room, which is wonderful, but currently it is not working. So right now I'm just posting our information. And we have 4 days of school left, so there is our countdown chain. Okay, next are just some work centers, and like I said, I'll do a separate video tutorial on the different work centers. Here is my objectives posted. That it's just a requirement of our district that we list our objectives with the Common Core standards. And I have a multi-grade class. I have K through 2, so it's really hard to do that, especially with children that have IEPs, because they all have different objectives. So I do mine on clipboards, and so each child, or each grade level rather, has a separate clipboard for literacy and math, and I have several children. They're all listed on the clipboards, so that way my principal can come in there and look. So I have two work centers actually here. They're just two desks up together, and I have just a pegboard divider, but that way I can get two work centers. I don't know if I showed you, I have the two sets of chairs, 10 chairs stacked. We use those during circle time because my children don't do well sitting on their bottoms for carpet time or circle time. So just when we do circle time, we pull pull out the chairs. They need that defined area to sit in chairs, but when we're not using it, we stack chairs, and they know 5 go on one side, 5 go on the other. It takes less than a minute, but it really prevents a lot of behavior problems so that they sit in chairs. These are the students' journals, because this is our journal area. This is one of our centers. It's actually my discrete trial area. This is where I work one-on-one with the student. It's behind a divider, our positive reinforcement board. And you can see over here in this area, I have all the students' data binders. I just work with my upper level students, my second graders. So each child has a separate binder. I have all the things I need in their binders right here. They come and they sit down, and I have all my materials right here. And so when they come to me, I have everything, and they are blocked off from distractions. They can't see anything when they're here but me, so they have no choice but to work. And then we just, of course, have our file cabinets, because we've got to use all the storage we can. Okay, I will do a separate video tutorial about our token economy that we use. I do have to have student desk. I really would prefer not to have them, but we eat breakfast in the classroom, so each of my students have desks. We do very little work at our desk though, but we do have to have that for meals. Here is my computer center, and we do a lot of things on the computer. Just quickly, my desk, and as you can see, it's a catch-all, a pile, hide, and my computer area. And this is where I store books and that kind of thing. Here is our student reading center. I have little bins with the students' pictures, and each week I change out their books. This is called their book box. Kind of like a familiar reading book bin. If you do the Daily 5, it's similar to their idea of a familiar reading book box. But the students, after they eat breakfast, they go get their book box, and they have about 5 minutes each day to read over their books. There's about 5 books in there. Several of them are levelized, and then several books also are just high interest books. So we read each day, and even the teachers and paras and I try to read during that time to model good reading, so it's independent reading during that time. This area is actually my book center that we use during rotation, and I have them sorted by theme, and each of my books are labeled, and then they match the label that are on the tubs. So, like for instance, let's see if I can show you real quick without making you too sick for my video. Like, for instance, this book is school, and so it would go, if it was in a tub, let's see, it would go to match the one with school. But that's how the kids manage them and keep them together, and I rotate these out probably every 3 to 4 weeks, so they have different ones, and I try to keep them kind of seasonal. Right now we're doing lots of, we're doing insects, zoo animals, dinosaurs. They, in their book boxes, they have ocean animal books, because that's what we're currently studying. I have a word wall where they have their Dulce sight words that they can use to refer to when they do their journal. Next is their playtime, or we call it our free time choices. If they work in the morning, they do get, or some of the students, my older students only get this 1 time a week, but my younger students do get a 30-minute, 20 to 30-minute free time choice that they use this menu to choose from. So we use that. This is just a simple writing center that I have, that I'll talk about that during my center tutorial. This is just my turn-in basket. These 2 tubs, I don't know if you can see them, are designed for my paraprofessionals. And early in the morning, between 8:15 and 9, is my planning time. So I have structured it where this is the activities they do with my students. And everything is in here that they need, and all the work is in folders for the students and dry erase sleeves so that the students can use dry erase markers. And the activities are games that are in here. They're mostly calendar activities, such as days of the week, where they like match the word. Match word to word, or match the days and the months, that type of thing. It's mostly calendar or early morning type of stuff. They'll practice writing their first and their last name, because it's mostly my kindergartners that are in here. We also practice the letter and the sound of the week, or whatever really they're needing to work on at that time. If they're needing to just practice their name, whatever different skill, if they're learning their parent's name, if they're learning their address, their city name, their name of the school, personal information, that kind of thing. But I have it all ready, so they also work on their journal, so it's ready, so I don't really even have to plan for it. Once I've set it up at the beginning of the year, it's ready to go, and I might need to tweak it about once every 9 weeks. So dry erase markers and either laminating it or putting in protective sleeves has really saved time. One tip, I'm sure many of y'all have seen this. This is not new, but I shared with a new teacher this year, and she liked it. I keep a sharpened pencil can, and then I keep, I'm going to try to pan over so I don't make you sick. But then I also have a pencil can over here on my desk that says dull or broken, that the kids put it in here when it breaks, and then they know they can't sharpen. It's a special treat to get to sharpen. Mostly I do, but they know to just put it in the broken one and go get a sharp one. And so that's an important procedure to have. Some new teachers, that's some of the things that they forget about, in the beginning of the year, to have procedures for little things like that, so it doesn't come up and, then the kids getting up in the middle of instruction time and sharpening their pencil while you're trying to teach. I've used every little bit of space I have, like inside this easel, it has all these bins. So I have just stuffed it full with, occasionally when we do sit on the carpet, I have cheap placemats from the dollar store that they have to sit on. I have a binder of all my social stories. I have a tablet there that I use for center time. I have ABC charts. I have a wobble cushion that I use for sensory movement for, kiddos during circle time who can't sit still. I have my pointers, DVDs that we use for the smart board, anything that you could think of. I have a clipboard that I use for data collection. Everything that I need is right here up here by my circle time. Of course, class rules, because we do that every day. We go over that. And in the little drawers, I have everything that we need for circle time, and anything that I would need at the front of my classroom, I try to keep right up here close. Okay, in the big shelf, this is where I keep everything that I need for small group instruction, because I hold all my small group instruction at my kidney table. And I just labeled my baskets. I have one just for one particular student, and I've sectioned it off by day of the week, and one particular para works with him, so she does the same thing Monday through Friday with him every single day, but it's a different letter. He actually does a multisensory curriculum on the letters of the alphabet. So it's just for him. My lower basket is for my guided reading, so I have it all together. I have supplies at the bottom, like glue sticks and scissors, that kind of thing. We have more data binders down here, because one of my paras works with all my younger students, so she has the data binders there. Then the rest is for math instruction. I have my math journals, my math plan book, my math data binder, counting collections, that type of thing. I have it all right here where I need it, rather than having to run over to my desk to get my plan book for math. I keep both my math plan binder here, and then I also have my guided reading lesson plan binder over here, because it's just so much handier than having a big lesson plan binder on my desk. It doesn't make sense, really. I have it here, and I keep data sheets in that, so I can take data as I'm teaching. Once again, the easel has storage underneath, and so I just take advantage and cram it full of stuff. I have small dry erase boards, the games we're going to work on that week, any manipulatives that I need. I have, of course, chart paper. Over here, just different centers I have, and the morning we spend in literacy rotation, and that's our schedule, and I will have a video tutorial about just our rotation schedule. Here's my 2 independent workstations that we use in the morning for our literacy rotation, where we use the teach model, and so we'll talk a little bit more about that. And here I have a sensory station, and this week we just have the glass beads. We're studying about the ocean, and I have plastic fish. And of course, this is the all-time favorite station. This is the break or reward station, the free choice that they earn if they're good the 20 minutes a day if they do their work. And I switch out these areas. Of course, right now I've got like plastic ocean animals, Hot Wheels, Legos, wooden blocks, foam blocks, Barbie dolls, all sorts of different things, and I try to switch those out. Up in the front by the chairs is a blue tub of fine motor activities. It's actually a station that I have, and I rotate it out. This week are Tinker Toys and Puzzles, so that's also a fun activity that really strengthens their fine motor skills. I am fortunate because I have a whole wall, see if I can step back, of shelving, but it is kind of ugly because it's a whole wall of shelving. So I just picked up some fabric pretty cheap. Actually, they were shower curtains and at the dollar store, and I just cut them up and made, this is what I recovered my chair in and made my awning, and I've made some pillows out of. And I covered it so I was able to store like all my math curriculum and reading curriculum, because I have 3 grade levels, so I have tons of materials. Also, up at the top, I have all my different workstation tubs organized, and my alphabet tubs and that kind of thing up at the top. So I was fortunate that I have so much storage. Back in the back, we have our own bathroom and our classroom, which is wonderful. And, of course, a mirror, so all the kids can stare at themselves in the mirror. Have a place to display work. I just hot glued clothespins on our closet door. Right now, I'm taking it all down. It's sent home. Back here is our stop and think area where they sit on this blue carpet. It's similar to a timeout, but we call it stop and think because that's what I want them to do. There is a visual there where it actually walks them through the process of what I want them to do. They're supposed to sit down. They're supposed to take 5 deep breaths, and their hands are supposed to be still. They're supposed to think. They can count to 10 if they want. I even put paper and pencil there if they want to draw how they feel. And on the other side, there is a timer that we set. So it's just a visual timer. Once the red is gone, they know that they can get up. Before they, though, get up, I keep a data clipboard above. And so one of the adults in the room come and log why the child came to stop and think, and just do a quick brief description of the time, the duration, what happened before, during, and after, so we can log that behavior. And then they can return. So it's been helpful, and that kind of helps us determine the function, give us a little bit of ABC data. once again, I will talk more about these centers, but this is, I have clipboards everywhere. This just gives us data on these two centers. And once again, we're fortunate, we do have a sink, we have a microwave, a refrigerator, we have daily snacks, so this is just our snack bin. Another center that I've created in here is just real simple. I have an alphabet center right here, and that's basically the tour. It kind of wraps us back around to the student desk and the computers. So thank you for watching. Again, my name is Misty Clark, and this was the classroom tour of my special ed K2 academic classroom.